In a sentence I never thought that I would say, this is my second arc in like 3 weeks that involves a Christmas romance and a concussion. I didn't know that the Christmas concussion trope was a thing, but apparently that's a brand new trend for the 2023 romance Christmas season. So yeah, that's weird. If you missed my first one, that was the new Alexis Hall, which included a concussion but then fake amnesia. I am happy to say that in this book, there is a concussion but no amnesia, faked or otherwise, so that was a real relief. We are reviewing an arc today, so thank you to the publisher and Edelweiss for giving me a free advanced review copy of this. The book is called Emergency Contact, and it is a co-written book between Layne and her real-life husband, Anthony Ladone, or Ladon. I'm not sure how you say that, but if Layne's name sounds familiar, it's because I have reviewed her books on the channel before. I have read actually quite a few of Layne's books. In the beginning, when she was releasing books that I think she's not as well known for, they were quite like spicy contemporary romances. She has moved into the realm of clean romance. And so, for example, last-ish year, I think, I did Made in Manhattan, which was a retelling, but like gender swapped of the musical My Fair Lady without the musical bits. And then I also did a review of a book that I did think was absolutely adorable and lovely called To Sir with Love. And that was a little bit like, you know, the romance, like love letter trope involved in that. So with these new books that she's been putting out, she's a little 50-50 for me, but this book was a second chance romance between people who are divorced, and that is a real big deal for me. I always find those books really interesting, so I had to say yes. So this novel is the story of Catherine and Tom. Catherine and Tom got married quite young, but as their marriage progressed, it just became clear that they may have gotten married too young, and without really realizing what the other person, A, wanted from the marriage, and B, really without the ability to communicate. So Catherine thought that she was very upfront with Tom when they got married, that she wanted to be a lawyer so badly. She was the child of a single father who died before he got to see her graduate law school, and it was always his dream and their dream for her to make partner at a prestigious law firm. So Catherine is a major attorney in New York City. She's very fierce and job-oriented, and she thought that Tom knew that about her and liked that about her. Tom, on the other hand, he comes from a big family. He's not as job-oriented, and his dream, and the dream that he maybe really realized he had after they got married, was to have a big family, have a lot of kids, and just have like a more family-oriented space. And that's just not what Catherine was about while she was trying to make partners. So their inability to communicate, their unhappiness, their general, like, they believe incompatibility of their dreams has driven them to divorce. This book takes place during the holidays several years later, so they've been divorced for a bit, and Tom and Catherine are both people on their individual missions. Catherine is convinced that this is the Christmas that she's going to make partner, and Tom is going to propose to his girlfriend of just about a year to try to, again, achieve that dream of having a family and kids. Tom is attempting to get on a plane to fly to Chicago to be with his family and his soon-to-be fiance when he gets a call. Catherine has been in a car accident, and it turns out that she has forgotten to change her emergency contact from his name, so he is the one called to the hospital. Tom is about to leave her there, but he realizes that one of the reasons that she's never changed her emergency contact is because she really has nowhere else to go. And the sparks are flying between these two again almost immediately. They have great banter, and Tom is trying to just leave it alone, and then he just can't do it. So he says to Catherine, "Come with me. We will both go to Chicago." And that way you're not alone while you're dealing with this concussion protocol, since you have nowhere else to go. What happens after that is a series of wildly unfortunate events that changes what should have been a fast plane, you know, get on the plane in New York, show up in Chicago, into a wild multi-day journey of every single type of transportation known to most men. And of course, them kind of rehashing what happened with their marriage. Like I already said, I think one of the key features of this novel is their banter. You see immediately that Catherine is a little bit more bitey, a little bit more, you know, not nitpicky, but she's just like a little bit more rough around the edges than Tom is. And Tom seems really happy-go-lucky, but at the same time he's definitely someone who likes his life ordered in a very certain way. And so, you know, Catherine has these rough edges that Tom really smooths over, and Tom has like this really kind of rigid, planned way he likes his life to go, and Catherine is just constantly like throwing open the doors like, no, we'll do this now, and just kind of jumping in with both feet. And so I think one of the things you get immediately is both how they complemented each other, but also how the things that made them different also drove them apart, which I really thought was nicely well done. I will admit that the series of unfortunate events during their travel after a while did kind of start to like grate on me a little bit. I was like, how many more things can possibly go wrong? And some of them were a little weird. And I was like, there had to be a less silly way to do this. I think the book is taking mild inspiration from the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles for this, but I was just like, okay, like some really ridiculous things have happened here, and it just started to feel a little unreal and a little silly, which was really contrasted with the like real deep like conversations about relationships that Catherine and Tom are having. And I was like, this book is just, it felt a little tonally off, and I wasn't a huge fan of it, but you know, that's a me thing. I don't like it when the level of silly in a romance verges on the absurd. I think the other thing that kind of nagged at me while I was reading this book was the fact that Tom is still trying to get to Chicago to propose to his current girlfriend. I think the book does an excellent job kind of comparing and contrasting his relationship with that girlfriend to his one with Catherine. But at the same time, I still felt a little weird. In the beginning, Catherine doesn't know, and at the very least, like, she changes her behavior when she finds out, but I still did feel a little bad for that girlfriend, especially because you just know this is a romance novel and you know how it's going to end. And I was not a super fan of that element. I kind of wish that it hadn't been there, but I guess tension, will they, won't they, had to come from somewhere. It just kind of felt like the book didn't need it. At the end of the day, this is a really, really sweet relationship book. It is clean. It's mostly them traveling, trying to get to Chicago, and just desperately trying to unpack not only what happened in their marriage, but the signs that they both missed and the ways that they both could have kind of changed had they just been willing to talk to each other. I don't mean change in like the bad way of like you shouldn't have to change for someone, but in the way that they just weren't communicating and weren't able to better complement the other person with their behavior. And I really did love that aspect of it. I thought it was very sweet, very cute. The Christmas element was not deeply overpowering. It's cutesy, it's sugar cube cute. It's a nice light story with a little bit of Christmas thrown in, if that's your thing. I wouldn't say it's, again, I like Lauren Layne's older stuff better. I always have. But if you need nice, light, and cute, this might just be the book for you when it does come out. Again, this is an ARC review, so if you're watching this the day that it comes out, it's not quite there yet, but it will be soon. So you can put it on hold with your local library or your local bookstore, whatever it is, however you read, and you can check it out for yourself if this is the kind of fluff fest you're feeling. Thanks, guys. Bye.